Details on a post-credit scene from Fantastic Four First Steps that was scrapped have hit the net, and this scene would have allegedly connected directly to Avengers Doomsday by teasing the one and only Chris Evans returning as Hydra Cap / Nomad. So let's talk about what was going on and why it didn't happen. So as most of you know, Marvel Studios has been shooting a lot of their films recently with incomplete scripts. Now, this isn't anything new. This dates all the way back to Iron Man 1, which started shooting with only about 30% of a script, and a lot of it was just ad-libbed and sort of on the spot, what do you think your character would say? So this isn't anything new, but people like to pretend that it is and that Marvel is only now doing this. And recently, yes, Avengers Doomsday, for example, incomplete script, bringing on old writers and things like that. But again, times are changing and they're just going back to what they used to do. So in the bigger scheme of things, I don't think that this sort of a, hey, on the fly type of thing affected this end credit scene. Because from what we found out recently, the original first planned post-credit scene was to have Chris Evans show up as Nomad, and that he was here to warn them about what was going to happen, talking about the oncoming threat that is Incursions and Doctor Doom. Now, another version of this claims that they were also evolving this to say that he's Nomad, but in reality, Chris Evans was playing Captain Hydra pretending to be Nomad to fool them into thinking that they can trust him. Okay? You know what? That makes sense. Both of these make sense to some degree. I can see how they wanted to play with these. And per these reports, we don't know why this was scrapped, why they decided to pull back on it, why they didn't do a version of this. More than likely, it sounds like that they pivoted away from using Nomad and or Captain Hydra to the extent that they wanted to in Avengers Doomsday, so they didn't want to include this just yet, just because of setup. And honestly, if that's true, I could see why they would, say, yeah, this doesn't work. Because he shows up, he's like, hey guys, I'm Nomad. Secretly Captain Hydra. Anyways, yeah, there's a threat coming. Why don't you jump universes and go help these guys? Oh, hey, cool. Can you join us? No. Okay, will you be in the next film? No. But I'll be in the one after that called Secret Wars, right? Like, you guys get what I'm saying? It's a little too inconvenient, if that makes sense. So we are where we're at now with this whole thing and the whole rollout of, hey, check this out, check that out, check this scene out. This was a scrapped idea. This was an idea that partially made it in. And I can see how Nomad would have been a thing. They probably could have shot that during the post-production of Deadpool and Wolverine when Chris Evans was back anyway. But again, who knows what would have been happening and what kind of changes were made in the run-up to shooting Fantastic Four, because we know plenty were made because ideas were scrapped and ultimately rejected, and there's even now details on elements of the film that they wanted in there that never made it past the initial stages of conception. So things change, and this is one of them. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.